Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Miner's 4x4 Garage and Adventure. We're back on the Spitfire today. You can kind of see the front of the hood here. I've got my nephew Corbin with me. We're going to do some fiddly farting around. I've had some Marvel Mystery Oil, or actually I think PB Blaster and brake cleaner, to be honest with you, in the cylinders for probably about the last 3 weeks, month. And I didn't have a socket that was shallow enough or big enough to get on the crank bolt to see if I could break her free. So we're gonna get the hood up, get the spark plugs out of it, see if we can get the engine to turn a little bit, and then depending on how that goes, probably throw a battery in it. I've had a battery in it before and the starter does hit, but with the motor stuck, that obviously didn't go well. So yeah, I mean, if we can get it freed up, we'll put some starting fluid in the carburetors and see what we can do. So let's go ahead and get the hood up on this thing. Is your latch open?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. All right.
I really like these old classic cars. If I can ever find one when I grow older, I'd like to fix it.
Here we go.
If it needed ever fixing, and if anybody took care of it, I'd like to. Oh.
So we're gonna tip the camera down a little bit.
And I like how it's just these small engines, like it's person size.
It's definitely a smaller thing.
If you spitted your gum out, I have some extra spearmint, so it's not like
I'm good.
Juices. Gotta have a stick.
All right.
Really cool.
So I'm gonna get the. I'm probably gonna be working headless for most of this video, but whatever.
Yeah. It's not like it's the red-green show. It's not like everywhere.
Oh, heck, I didn't even tighten them up. Okay, well that makes things easier.
Oh,
I
peachy.
just stuck them back in there.
And these nice old school racing tires are pretty neat too.
Well, I don't know if I'd call these racing tires. The front ones I'd call blown up.
Well, yeah, blown up, but turn back time, a lot of these old models were like sports cars and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's still a sports car. It's just a sports car that's
really banged up.
really, yeah, a little rough.
And it's like one of those mini sizes, which in my opinion doesn't take up much parking space.
Yeah.
Plus it's easy to work with because you have all these small engine parts.
That, of course, I tightened for some reason. Let's see if I can get on there. There we go.
But it's just I'm so fascinated with this car is I like old cars. Even though some younger people don't like cars like this anymore because we've moved on to electric cars. But
What's this wee crap? I haven't.
Yeah, you're not going to keep this.
I'm still not going electric.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like the Jaguar thing we watched at the end, younger people didn't like all their older fashioned cars because of the models.
Yeah, I forgot you watched that with me. That was cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I even told Grandma a little bit about that, and she was like, "Wow, I never knew there was at first called Sparrow."
Okay, let's see if I can. Boy, they give you a lot of.
Here, I'm going to help you straighten that up. Another thing about these cars, which I don't like, is they're so small, and it's really hard to get all these tools in them. You literally have to take the entire thing apart to get that place.
Okay, there she goes.
She's a turn.
She's a turning. Okay. That is, yeah, I really didn't want to pull the radiator off. Not that it's, that big of a deal. Okay, I'm going to grab a ratchet, so I'm going to pause this real quick. And we're back. Not that it seemed like we were gone because I stopped the video. So I'm going to give the cylinders just a little bit more party lube here. most of the time I don't have a 12-year-old working on the car with me, so maybe I should call it something different.
It's not like I hear anything different.
It's all good. Alright, so we gave that a little bit more. I mean, it's probably still got it in there, but just in case it leaked out. Okay, let's see if we can get this up on here. It's just, I really
Ain't
don't.
a butt to get in. It's another thing.
Well, and then the fun thing is when you're sitting here working on this and you bump the hood and the hood closes on you.
Yeah, like when Ernest got stuck that one time.
Oh my word. They give you absolutely dookie poo for room.
That's what makes these things bad. Probably another reason why younger people buy them and they're being sold.
Okay, well I guess we're doing it one turn at a time with a breaker bar. So, flippin' yay. Because I didn't want to do it even remotely the easier way available. Definitely wanted to spend 6 hours. Okay. Come on, there. Okay, now I want to try to get a full rotation out of the engine, which is going to be
A problem.
okay. Well, while I fight with this, we'll be right back. All right, we have a solution. We're going to have to pull the radiator, so Corbin's going to do that for me. And while he's doing that, I'm going to get these screws here for the
Oh man, these things are rusted.
radiator off. Well, it looks like it might come off favorably.
Well, I hope so.
Well, sometimes those old hoses get stuck, really stuck on there, but it looks like at some point the braces for the radiator are currently off. So it looks like somebody's had it out relatively recently.
Well, wasn't Pastor Danny the one who had this?
Yeah.
So he must have did that. So you can have your bolts, nut, and
Okay.
washer.
All right. Do it again on this side, and
We should be good.
I will. I'm just going to stick this stuff in the battery tray for now.
Man, screwed it.
There's that.
I think I can just like take these off just by using my hand.
Okay, that's fine.
Because doing it with the ratchet and the it's just really
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to get to a certain point where it's easier to just use your
hand.
hand. Okay, and this hose is just like absolutely falling apart. So
You can like find old model parts and you kind of have to upgrade them sometimes.
sometimes.
Sometimes, but
There's a lot of parts still available for this.
yeah, but they cost a lot.
It depends. Sometimes they do. I mean, a lot of basic maintenance stuff doesn't cost as much as you think.
Yeah. together and put apart an old wheel once.
Don't you mean put together and took apart?
I guess
He
so.
said put apart and took together.
I just said it.
Which I suppose works, but...
I just said it backwards.
Okay, go ahead, put it all together and then set it over here in the battery tray. And then I'm going to get...
Well, where'd you put those other bolts?
In the battery tray. Look under the hood and see where you think a battery would go. What shape is a battery?
Square.
Okay. Do you see anything under the hood that's unusually square where a battery might sit? I'll give you a hint. I have a tool already in it. Come on. Oh. Turd. Come on. There we go.
Here.
Yep. Good job. Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, according to my wet foot, it still had some coolant in it.
That doesn't look like coolant to me. Looks like
Well, at this point, it's
1,000-year-old
yeah.
coolant.
At this point, it's more like rust. But okay, so that frees up
Gotcha.
some degree of space. If I get my way,
Which I hope you do.
then now I can just use the ratchet to turn the thing.
Are these windows cranked to where you crank them and they go down?
But neither one of them work at the moment.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. 'Cause if they're-
There we go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, things just fall off. It's cool. All right.
Look at that. I'll make sure the hood doesn't fall on top of you while holding it on the other side.
There you go. Look.
Yeah.
Come on. Here we go.
Boy.
Ah, water pump's not. Well, the belt is also probably really loose. What are you doing?
Well, looks like you're only turning the belt loop to where it's just turning and you're not getting anywhere, so it's holding it for you.
Well, I'm not trying to turn the water pump. Right now what I'm turning is the entire engine. This is making the pistons go up and down. So this is your crank. So this is the thing. I can show you a picture of one later. But it's on the bottom end of the engine. And it's a funky looking
Cup thingy.
no, I wouldn't describe it as a cup. It's like a shaft, but instead of just being straight, so it's the front and the back line up at the same place. But then on the camshaft, they're not all straight. They're offset of each other. So because of the offset, that's what makes the piston go up and down in the cylinder. That's what I'm turning right now. That's what was stuck, was the pistons.
Well, it looks like they're a little loose.
Yeah, I get this one spot. It's probably got just a little bit of rust in the top of one of them. But yeah, because it's in the same spot on every rotation. But it is getting a little bit easier every time.
Yeah.
So it's probably, I didn't even feel it that time. Yeah, no, that's actually getting
A lot better than before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, well I'm happy with that. That is doing things. We're gonna pause you here for a minute. All right, so we've had a bit of success here. I'll show you, but I've already sprayed the crap out of myself, so I'm gonna, well, not the crap out of myself, I sprayed the stuff out of the cylinders. So I'm going to, apparently I have my nephew over here doing this all in sign.
Don't talk.
So, she's making noise. Of course I didn't bring the grease rag out with me. Why would I bring the grease rag out with me? Can you go grab me a rag, please?
Okay.
Thank you. And I didn't say don't talk. I said you don't have to talk the whole time. All right, a little extra pine needle, some dirt, some rust. That'll stick the valves open so it'll work right, you know. Works
Your
better that way.
manly shop nitpican.
My manly shop napkin. Thank you. I wouldn't want. I'm not gonna say that because that's gonna sound weird. I was gonna say I wouldn't want a feminine napkin, but then that just no. Yeah. Not going there. Even though I already did. Okay. Come on. Where you at?
Don't be bad. Be good.
I think I feel it now. It's threading. Okay, there's that. Let's get this one started. I don't even remember what the firing order was. I just want to know. Yeah, so when so there's a thingamadoohickey in here. So you got your coil here. That takes your 12 volt and makes it like 40 bajillion. It makes it a lot. So, and then that feeds, oh, this thing doesn't even have coil wire on it. Oh, there it is. No, doesn't even have a coil wire. Okay, well, anyway, so this feeds your distributor, and then your distributor distributes the spark to the spark plugs. So there's a little thingy in here that goes around. So, like, say this is cylinder 1, because I'm sure this engine is cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4. So, say this is cylinder 1, the little rotor goes past here and makes contact, and it sends fire to this spark plug. And then it comes over here to 2, and it sends fire to this spark plug, and then 3, and then 4. And now, that all happens like that. Like,
because electricity is faster.
Well, no, I mean, the thing goes around, I mean, the engine fires so quickly that it happens really quick. So I'm sitting here saying, oh, it goes here, and then it goes here, it goes here, and then it goes here. It goes... In the amount of time it took me to say that, it probably would have fired like 300 times. Okay. So I want to see how it sounds with compression. Because with no compression, it cranked over just fine. Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I'd hit the button or not. Alright. Now this one is really awkward.
Mosquitoes are gonna come when the oil comes and they're coming.
And with any luck, if the TV's not being dumb, we might be able to watch this tonight. Okay, what are you... Okay, what knucklehead engineered this? Let's put a distributor right in front.
I think it was Triumph who did that, so Triumph's the knucklehead.
Yeah. Way to use your available resources to determine that.
Of course, I don't know who owns Triumph, so... Triumph's just a brand, it's not a person.
Well, I think back in the day, they were there. Now, can I get that in there enough to tighten this? No, why would I be able to get that in there enough to tighten it? That would make way too much sense. Come on. Go in. Dang it. There. Okay. Alright, that lets me at least tighten the spark plug up. Okay. So, now let's see if it'll crank under compression.
Goody.
Because, I mean, this is the battery out of my Ranger, so I'm pretty sure.
Screwdriver. Careful not to touch the battery.
Why?
It'll shock you.
No, it won't.
Unless you hit those two screw things.
No. Battery won't shock you. Okay, she's humming. Which either means it has absolutely no compression, or that it just turns really easy, or that I'm using twice as much battery to crank on it as I should be. I did check to see that it's a 12-volt system and not a 6-volt system, so I'm not that dumb.
And it lasts.
Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'm going to pop the air cleaner off of it. I'm going to go see what I've got for some starter fluid. I don't think I have any, but we might do a no-no and use brake cleaner or a little bit of gas or something like that. I just want to see. I don't even know if I have an ignition signal at this point because I'm just running through my... See, that thing looks like it's supposed to be hooked up and it's not. So, I'm not even sure if I have an ignition signal.
Which means your blinkers won't work?
Well, no, well. It means that the car, well, and I don't even have a flippin' coil wire here, so I think trying to crank on this is probably just a silly activity in vain unless I can find a coil wire somewhere, which I might actually have one.
One of those big no-nos.
Okay, so we're going to pause again, go see if we can gather some things and stuff, and then go from there. So we had some questions about timing. So the way the timing works is, so I told you how the distributor distributes spark, right? So the thingy goes around and it tells each one to fire and it fires the plug. Well, that has to happen in a particular order. So obviously in this engine it happens in 1, 2, 3, 4, but that has to happen during the correct stroke of the engine. So you've got 4 strokes. You've got when your piston is coming down and your intake valves are open, or intake valve, whatever the case may be. So that's your intake stroke. It's pulling in air. Okay. Then the next one is your compression stroke.
It pushes
compression stroke. Yeah. That's your compression stroke. So your valves close. It pushes all the air up in there. The gas that's coming into the engine, whether it's fuel injection or whether this is carbureted, so it's not coming in through an injector because this is all mechanical. But then it compresses all that stuff. And then at that point, at the top of that stroke is when the spark plug needs to fire. Because that ignites the oxygen and the gas and forces the cylinder back down. So that's your, what is that? Intake, compression, combustion, exhaust. So that's your combustion stroke. And then your exhaust stroke, when it comes back up, your exhaust valve opens and it pushes all of those spent gases out of the exhaust. And then it goes on to the next cylinder and it goes all over again. Wrong spark plug wire down the hole for the, actually, you know what? No, it doesn't come all the way up to the top. I've got to actually get it down there to where it'll make contact. If anybody wants to get on and tell me I'm doing it wrong, duh. Okay, I'm gonna pause that real quick. I gotta get a pair of pliers so I can smash that so it'll fit down in there. Alright, let's commence with the doing it wrong. I'm not even sure. Okay, so there's that. Maybe if I like fold that over or something, that'll... Okay, well that gets me down in there. It's probably an absolutely horrible contact, and I've probably got multiple people cussing at me right now, saying what an idiot I am. But believe me, I know that this is not the right way to do this. Okay, so theoretically at this point, if we give the carburetors some gas, if it's going to do something and somehow has an ignition signal, it'll do it. So let me just make sure we're still... Okay, we're still doing stuff. Well, let me see if we're even... Are we even making spark? Let's see, that should...
Yeah.
Okay, it may or may not even be making spark.
I don't know how to add you to the group, and I'm sure that I...
Okay. I mean, you can add me to a group or whatever. I just want to let you know that the camera is running.
Will do. I'll figure it out.
Okay. How in the heck does this... Oh, I have to take the fuel lines off the carburetors to get the goofy air cleaner off? I don't know that I want to go to that extent right now. Okay, well, I'm going to pause this for a minute while I figure this out and then go from there. Well, I think that's about going to do her for the old Triumph tonight. It's cranking over. The motor's free. Actually sounds pretty good. Like I said, I didn't think it was that stuck. It really didn't take me that much once I soaked it for a little bit to get it to break free, so I think it'll be just fine. But the wiring in this thing is an absolute nightmare, so I need to figure out what's what, or just hot wire the coil, or do something. I don't even know if the coil's any good. And then go from there. So, all right, well, we'll see you next time.